Okay, so here is the little tutorial on the baking calculator. This is the coolest, one of the coolest things of this whole spreadsheet. I just love this. Okay, so when you're in your cost master and you've said, okay, this lady wants 100 servings and she wants 3 tiers. Okay, so what am I going to do? I don't know how to do that in my brain without some kind of help. So we're going to find out what tiers we need to get 100 servings, more or less. Can't always be exact. So I'm thinking let's do well, let me explain this before we go on to actually using it. What you've got here is on the side here of each of the sizes of pans, round and square. And remember the cardinal rule, do not put anything unless it's a yellow square. So this is where you're going to do some entering in a minute. All of this then will calculate your grams of batter that you need, how much batter is going to go into each pan, how much filling is needed, how much filling is going to go between each layer, how much frosting you need, if it's a full frost, how much if it's a semi-naked, and how many grams of fondant if you're going to cover it in fondant. There's also this baking time here which you can change, and that's why it's yellow. So the frosting amount for regular cupcakes and filled cupcakes is just based on rosettes. Okay, so go ahead and just maybe make that adjustment if you're going to be doing something with a lot more. I think a rosette, or is about what we normally use for a cupcake. Okay, so you do not have the tasting jar in yours because I just added this for my own use. So what you're going to do is if you need cupcakes, you're going to put in the yellow how many cupcakes you need. You need 24, put 24. If you need 109, put 109. Do not do it by the dozen, it's by the individual unit. If you're going to do it for filled cupcakes, the same thing. Alright? Alright, so once you've got your cupcakes in there, if there are any, you're also going to use this area to put how many layers of each of those sizes you need. We'll do that in a minute. Now at the very bottom, I just want to show you, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be all subtotaled here, but you don't really use this so much. Where you're going to be really looking is how much do I need for each of those things, for a full frost, for a semi-naked, and this is if it's all one flavor of batter and filling and frosting. So they just want a chocolate cake and a little raspberry filling and Swiss meringue on top. That's all the same. Even if it's 4 layers, if it's all the same, this is where you're going to look. But what if they wanted a 4-layer cake and 2 layers were one flavor and 2 layers were another flavor? Or all 4 were different flavors? This is where it's going to be parsed out for you. So if the 4-inch cake was 1, it's going to be here. If the 6-inch cake was another flavor, it's going to be here. And this is, again, all for the, this side here tells you for the full frost and for the semi-naked frost. So the batters are going to stay the same, so are the fillings, but the frostings are going to be a little bit different. So this is where you're going to be copying and pasting from when you put into your cost master. Okay? So that's for the round and for the square, and here is if you have any cupcakes or mini cupcakes. So you're just going to, again, copy and paste this. If it's plain, copy and paste this if it's filled. So that is the baking calculator overall, but let's go ahead and do it. She wants 100 servings and she wants a 3-tier cake. So let's go out. It's 3 layers of a 6-inch. Let's do 3 layers of an 8-inch. And let's do 3 layers of a 10-inch. Okay, so that's going to tell me that is only 80 servings. So your servings here are totaled. This is each one individually. Alright, so we only have 80 servings, so we need to do a little more. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take these off. Always put it back to 0 if you're not going to use that. So go back to 0. So we could have done 80 servings and then offered the balance in cupcakes. We could have done that. But let's go ahead and do a 5-inch 3-layer, a 7-inch 3-layer, tiny 9-inch 3-layer. What does that give us? Oh, well, it gives us even less, so let's take that off of there. All right, so let's go with a 7, a 9, and an 11. Okay, that gives us 107. We're getting closer there. So you can see here by just playing around with these numbers what your servings are going to be. And so now that we've decided, okay, we're going to do that. So what you'll do is you'll go down here. Everything that you need to pay attention to is in turquoise here. So when you go to make the cake, you're going to know that you need 449 grams per pan. Okay, if it was only 2 pans, you'd need this much. But you said it was 3 layers, so it's going to be 3 pans here. Same thing for each and every cake. And if you're doing your filling, this is how much you need between each layer. Okay, so you'll want to have your computer out or maybe jot this down when you go to cook. Okay, so she wants it all the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this, just these 3, because it's not a fondant cake. And then I'm going to copy that and paste it down here in my Cost Master. This is going to go right here in my Cost Master. That's the first tier. So we're going to put it right here. You're going to do Command-Shift-V if you have a Mac. And I think it's just copy-paste if you have a PC. All right, you're going to do that for the first tier there. But say she wanted all 3 tiers to taste differently. Okay, so instead of doing that, you're going to copy and paste this one for the 7-inch. Go over to your Cost Master. So you're going to push Command-Shift-V on your Mac and put it here for tier 1. Okay, this is tier 2, so you're going to copy and paste this. Go to your Cost Master, put it in tier 2, Command-Shift-V, or copy-paste on a PC, and so on with each tier. That's if they're different flavors, okay? Now this again is for your full frost. If it's a semi-naked frost, you're going to take it from this column because your frosting's going to be a good deal less. If you had any cupcakes, you would go ahead and copy this, go back to your Cost Master, put it under here, copy and paste, or Command-Shift-V on your Mac and put it right there, okay? Because those are the number of grams needed for the entire order. That's where you're calculating it, is right here on your baking calculator. Okay, so then once you have it into your Cost Master, then you're pretty much done with this baking calculator. And you're going to use it for the next cake. So just be sure that you set everything back to 0 because you don't want your next one to have the wrong calculations on it because there's some leftovers there. So that's how to use the baking calculator. It is super simple and very easy. You can play around with these numbers. You can play around with, like I said, maybe we get 80 here. So we offer 80 plus 2 dozen cupcakes. That gives her 104 servings. And that would be great. So there's your tutorial on the baking calculator. Thank you.